Welcome, everyone. It's that time again. It is Sunday evening when we have our StemSation Spotlight talk show. I have two amazing guests today. And before they introduce themselves, I just want to introduce myself. So I'm going to put it where I've got a little solo. I am Nikisha Washington, CEO and founder of Knowledge and Enterprises, where we inspire and encourage young girls to be have good character, confidence, and class while they become our future leaders. We really want them to become our future STEM leaders. And if you don't know what STEM stands for, it stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. But we really want just to instill those skills and tools. So whatever career field they choose to go into, they will have that as a young age. And so one of the ways we have started doing that is we've created two children's books. We have Who is Nyla Nova, the children's book. It talks about her secret identity, how she realized she's a STEM superhero. And then we have the activity book that goes along with it. Guys, it is out there. It is available now. We just had a great book release party. So we need you guys to get out there and really support this project so we can bring more of these types of projects out there. Even if you don't have a little girl, you have a niece, you have a little cousin, you have somebody at church, you have a neighbor, you have a little girl. And if you just want to gift it to someone, we have plenty of needy girls that we have visited in different preschools that would love to have their own copy. So feel free to reach out to us for that. But anyway, to you, here we go. Here comes StemStation Spotlight, and I am so excited. So we have two amazing, I can't say amazing, StemSational StemSations. We have Shelia, who is she has her master's in nursing.
Hello.
And we have Grace, who is big time with cybersecurity. So we can't wait to hear from you guys. So we're going to start with our introduction. So I did my introduction. So Shelia, we're going to start with you. So when you're ready, go ahead and give us your introduction.
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be checking in with you all. My name is Shelia Anyoha Miller. I am a nurse practitioner here in Atlanta, Georgia, and I work with surgery. So I'm with the acute surgery services. And I have two kids, a little girl and a boy, and I'm married. And we all live here in Atlanta. And right now I'm doing emergency medicine, acute surgery. And so far, I love it. And I'm happy to be sharing with you all what I'm all about.
Well, that is awesome. That is awesome. And we just want to say right now, we're waiting on some more viewers to get on. But viewers, please, we want this to be interactive as possible. So leave your questions, just say hi, give us hearts and thumbs up. Let us know that you guys are out there. So we'd like to welcome Shelia, nurse practitioner.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. And then we have Grace. Grace, please introduce yourself.
Okay, so I'm a recent graduate of Georgia State University. I graduated with a degree in CIS with a concentration in cybersecurity, and I moved to a different state actually, and I'm doing engineering at my job. So that's just a little bit about me.
Well, I want to ask you a question real quick. This is so off, but since you went to cybersecurity, I want to know, is it true? So me and my husband did the little face thing that made you older. And now everybody is like that we're like in jeopardy of losing our identity and they're going to clone us. Is that true?
Actually more research about that.
So, everybody is like we're like, say that again?
Yeah. Yes, because through like facial recognition, like the Russians, I know you heard about the Russians were able to like get identity, get information about people.
Right.
So it is true because they can use different ways to track people's identity, like for example, like facial recognition. So yes, so you guys are, so whoever people who use that app are in jeopardy losing their identity.
And see, I'm nervous now, but then I thought about it too. I know we don't want the Russians to have it, but don't like United States already use face recognition when we take our license and we can't smile. So don't they already kind of have us in a database anyways?
Yeah, technically, like everything is technically in a database. Like even like information about you is online, unless you like don't scrub it off the internet, like where you live and stuff. Anybody can find out anything about you, but it's just things like that just make it, I guess, easier to learn more about you without you knowing. Because a lot of people didn't know that they were being tracked when they used the app. So
I know. I thought it was all cute and fun, and I was telling everybody that. Oh, I was like, you guys are. You don't know. It's just fun, and I'm like, uh-oh. I said, but if they do make a clone of me, can they have that one go to work for me and I stay at home? Like, I'm okay with that. You know, they can go to work for me and I stay at home, but I don't know. So, all right. So you guys are in two different fields, but that's what I love about this spotlight is that we are spotlighting different women of color in STEM. So it's you guys have got a nursing background, you got cybersecurity, and that's what our viewers need to see. They need to see that there are, and I have different people. I have a dentist one time, I had a NASA scientist. They need to see that we're out there. We're no longer hidden figures. And I think that giving them a face and hearing your story, that's going to encourage other little girls and even women that are thinking about career changing. Hey, we're out here. We're here to support each other. And so this is what I want to ask you guys. Why did you choose your career? Who inspired you? Like, was it family members? Did you always know you wanted to do this? Or is this something that just kind of, as you went through school and college, you kind of ended up this way? So Sheila, we're going to start with you. Why did you choose this career?
So for me, I've always had family influence in the medical field. I can really say my mom, she was a nurse. She started off doing like bedside, helping with being a tech. And so I watched her in school throughout that time while I was in school in high school. And so I'm like, that seems very interesting. So then I started volunteering at the hospital, and through volunteering, I really saw, nursing care firsthand and the impact they had on patients. And honestly, I went into college knowing like, this is what I'm going to major in. And this is what I want to do. So I really thank my mom, honestly, for helping to guide me. And so when I got to school, I wasn't confused about where I was going. I knew straight ahead, this is what I want. And I stayed on track, So I would really say family influence for me. And even my aunt in Nigeria, she's a nurse as well. So we all have something to talk about.
Yes, now talk about your Nigerian roots, because I know I read about that. So give us a little bit.
Right. So my mom and my dad, they both came here in maybe like 85, and they've been here since. However, all of my immediate family, as far as my mom, my siblings, they're here in Atlanta, but my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, everyone is in Nigeria. So, we try to keep in touch. Facebook helps, social media does help, WhatsApp. But, we try to keep in touch, but literally everybody is in Nigeria.
Yes. Well, we want to say hi because eventually, hopefully, they'll get to see this.
Right. Hello.
Whether you're in Atlanta or Nigeria, we want to say hi. Also, I just added in the comment section the article link to Sheila. So if you have not read about Sheila and all her journey and everything, this wonderful things she's doing, please follow her there. You can read her article and also leave comments. Those help. So, welcome, Sheila, once again. Thank
you. And I will say, too, like my Nigerian impact really helped, guide me to stay focused. Because like my family coming here and working so hard, that's always made me want to stay on track and, just have something to show for it as well.
Yes. And I think, too, that just gives you, and I know Grace can talk about this as well, but that just gives you, like you said, that little more fight and that little more oomph. Like, man, I got to do it. I got to do it and that's how I feel with all of us, what we're doing. We're trying to bring in that next generation. So we want how they inspired us. We want to inspire the next generation. Like, you can do it. Don't shrink. Don't doubt yourself. You can do it. So welcome. All right, Grace, are you ready? It's your turn. Why did you choose your career, and talk about your roots and who inspired you as well?
Well, starting out from a young age, I always knew that I wanted to work in like STEM or like technology, because like when I was younger, my dad bought me this like web designing software, and I used to use it like in middle school and high school, and I really loved it. And then like going from like high school to college, I actually didn't even like have a set major in my freshman year of college. It was after my first year of college that I decided to take a career test. And from that career test, one of the good matches that I had was computer information systems, CIS. So, I always had an interest in it since I was younger. And I looked after that career test, I talked to my career counselor, and I looked more into it. And then from there, and then after talking with my parents, I decided that I wanted to choose CIS as my major. And then like a year after that, I decided to go with cybersecurity as my concentration because I've always been interested in cybersecurity. I heard lots of great things about it, how it's like an emerging field, like just like the different tools they use for cybersecurity, and like how to keep down like computer threats and data breaches, especially because, you know, there's a lot of data breaches going around. So I would say that I chose my career based off of my own passion and also like taking a career test that, you know, matched up with what my passion was. So that's where I went with my career. And I don't regret it at all. It's given me so many opportunities.
All right. And so talk about your little background too, like your history, your family influence, because I know when I read, and also those that are just tuning in, I have put Grace's article link in, as well. So I know that you have some Nigerian roots as well, Grace, correct?
Yes. So yeah, my parents, they're doing like non-traditional, actually no, traditional roles, I would say. My mom's actually a teacher. My dad is a manager for a company. So just going off of that and seeing like how hard they work to like get to the United States, because we came here in like what, 2001? We're actually all born in Nigeria, and then we came to America after that. We got our citizenship. So I'm like a dual citizen of America and Nigeria because I was born there. And just seeing how hard they worked to give us like a good life, that also inspired me to go for my career as well. And that's also why I wanted to, you know, become a leader in some field, because that shows other people, especially like they're immigrants for like different places or even like Black, that they can do it too and they don't have to give up.
That's awesome. And it's just like how I link like who we're going to have on the interview is just kind of random, and it's so amazing that both of you have Nigerian roots. And so when I was reading that, I was like, wow, you know, how we get. And that's something too that I love, like you said, about Facebook and WhatsApp app. You know, we're bringing we're global, but we're bringing
exactly well connected.
And so it's not like you, like I said, you're not alone anymore. You got faces. You can get on Facebook. You can get on whatever you need to do, and then the world doesn't seem so big anymore. It's like we're bringing it closer and making it close knit. And then you got people like you that we can look up to and be like, man, they came here in 2001. They came here in 85, and they're making it. So I know my whole family been here since for whatever, and you know I have no excuse. So it's like this is what it's all about: inspiring, encouraging the next generation. So once again, so we know with what we love and why we got into the certain careers that we have. What would you change? What would you change most about your career?
For me, yeah, for me, honestly, even through the hard times in nursing, it's all like a learning experience. I feel like it builds you to be a stronger nurse. I know in the beginning years, you know, sometimes the patient loads could be, you know, very hard, you know, but I really do think that really helped to make me a better nurse. I will change the dynamic on the floor. Bedside nursing, the acuity is a little bit high, as in patients are sicker on the floor, and that's demanding more care for the nurses. So I would change that aspect. You know, just having more nursing staff to support the need for the patients that we're seeing today. That's one thing that I would change. As far as my career that I'm in right now, I work very long hours. I don't see it changing anytime soon, but my shifts are like 13-hour shifts, you know, so that's something that, you know, is something that I would change. You know, if I could do shorter shifts, that would be appreciated. But, you know,
that's
with the territory.
Yeah. And before you get off, I forgot, I kind of skipped one. What do you like most about your career then? So we'll go back about what do you like most about what you're doing?
Well, I really like the patient connect. I really love to educate my patients. You know, I went to school, I did family medicine. as far as nurse practitioner family medicine. And so I stepped into a surgical role. So, you know, at the core, it's patient education and helping them make lifestyle changes to ultimately improve their outcomes. I really genuinely enjoy that. And so at the bedside, I'm teaching my patients on discharge day what they should do, how they can prevent things. And I think that's the biggest thing, teaching someone something and then having them make a difference and seeing how it's impacted their life. For me, that's what I enjoy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes. And you guys are so needed. And like everyone knows, if you get a great nurse or nurse practitioner, when you're going through something, it just makes it a little bit better. Like you're more calmer, the patient's more calmer. And I
Right.
feel like I'm in good hands. And so I appreciate anytime I get a good caring nurse that, you know, that I don't feel scared or intimidated when I say, can I get something? And they, you know, snapping. And I can definitely say that I've been lucky because I've mostly have, you know, great experiences. And so for those people that are out there, just know that they work hard. They got long hours. So if it's hour 13 and they come short with you, it's not because of, you know, they don't care. It's because they're a little bit tired. So let's just make sure that we, you know, put that out there and we're nicer to our nurses. And we're like, girl, just okay. I don't need it right now. You know, let's be nicer to our nurses. All right, Grace. So it's up to you. Do you want to start with what you like most or what you would change? Because I kind of flipped it a little bit.
Okay. I know what I like most.
Okay,
so,
good. Okay, go ahead.
What I like most is that there's like lots of different organizations to join, like lots of networking opportunities to meet other people in our organization. Because I just started my job like 2 weeks ago, and like I've already like met different people through different like organizations or just like volunteering for like different events of the company. And I just started, so I was really interested how I can get connected to different people just by like, you know, attending events, volunteering, or just like talking to someone, because I met the types of head where I work, and I've met them through volunteering. So eventually, because I'm in a rotational program right now, eventually after I'm done my rotational program, I want to be placed permanently in that role. So I have a connection right there to eventually utilize my degree and go full time into that role. So it's really interesting how like you
awesome.
can like anybody, even if you just like go to an event or say hi to them. And then I would say what I don't like most about my career would definitely be representation. I feel like there need to be more Black people, not specifically people of color, but more Black people specifically in different roles, because I do notice that like in certain like fields or certain like roles, like there's not a lot of like Black people, people of African descent, not so much people of color. So I feel like there should be more Black people in roles, especially in like STEM roles, especially in tech roles, because you don't see a lot of us, or we're usually outnumbered by other people of like different backgrounds.
Right, and that's like I said before, that is something that we're trying to change. And, you know, we're not going to change it overnight, but I know every little bit helps. And so if they can see you ladies and see different people in these particular roles, then they know that they can possibly do it too. So I'm going to ask both of you this question before we move on. I know you mentioned networking and joining organizations. When you started your role in what you're doing, has anyone that of color reached out to you and kind of say, hey, this is the ropes, tuck you over your wings? Or do you feel like they feel like it's a competition? Because I know last week we were talking and some people said that they were encountered like a Black person was nasty to them because they felt threatened, like, oh, now they're going to come in and take my spot. But it's like, no, we all can share the spotlight. Like, you know, we don't all have to. So I don't know if you guys experienced that or anything.
Well, for me, where I work, it's a lot more Caucasians in my field. And I do notice that when I was at Bedside Nursing, I noticed that us Black nurses, honestly, we stuck together. You know, I think we supported each other. Even into my transition as a nurse practitioner, she was a Black nurse practitioner. She really supported me, you know, through that transition, and she helped me with my job placement now. You know, so I didn't really experience that. You know, sometimes, honestly, I may experience that from African American patients. You know, just may think that I may not know enough. you know, because they may feel like they don't know enough. And so it's just seeing like someone that looks like them, like, oh, you know, I've experienced it that way. But honestly, within my field, my career, we really do stick with each other.
Yeah, I can see that. I know. Just I started a new teaching job, and I was so amazed at all the women of color. And in my science department now, there's like 5 women of color, and I was like, that has never happened. I'm usually the only person of color, so 5 women. So I'm so excited. And then like,
right
now I told my husband, I said, I got some homegirls now. Like,
okay.
like
right.
it's really there. So yeah. So how about you, Grace? Have you experienced, you know, either way where people really supported you that was of color, or like was negative towards you?
I would say a little bit of both. Like,
Okay.
I feel like mainly it's not really about color. I feel like it's just more so about like competition and just like human behavior. I wouldn't say it's about color, because I actually had experience like my senior year of college actually recently. I don't want to go into deep details, but something went really left, and I have a sense like different people. It wasn't just even people of color. It was white people too, and people of color come together to come against me. But that's just a whole nother discussion. But I would say it's not. I don't feel like it's really tied to like color. I feel like it's human behavior in general. So I can't really say that it's like just
that's
it's everybody, in my opinion.
wow.
So I would say that I probably received it from like everybody, not just like one specific group.
So that helps us with the next question. How do you combat that stigma of being a woman of color in STEM? And I know, Sheila, you kind of mentioned it too, you know, even with patients, they don't think you're acknowledgeable, or they don't think you is qualified because of your color. So what do you do to combat that stigma of being a woman of color in STEM?
For me, I keep my cool, and I'm going to provide excellence regardless, you know? So my thing about it is, watch, I'm gonna prove you wrong, you know what I mean? But it's doing it for myself, because like I have a standard for myself. Like when I go to sleep at night, I don't have any type of conscience that's like keeping me up, because I know I did a good job, you know? So for me, it's like keeping that same attitude wherever I go, whether it's at the doctor's office, if it's I'm at work somewhere, at the grocery store. Like when you see Sheila's bringing her A game, and that's just how I carry myself, you know? So I think when we go out, you have to set the tone of how you want people to address you, how you want people to respect you. And so being a woman of color, I'm just going to make sure I have my things together, pretty much, is how I approach it.
And I feel it. I felt it through the screen. Yes, I had to put the comment on there and put your name, provide excellence regardless. I love it. I love it. All right, Grace, your turn. How do you combat the stigma of being a woman of color in STEM?
Well, I kind of feel the same way, especially kind of like in technology. You do find like a lot of people may like look down on you, or may like think that you don't know what you're doing. But I just try to be with like excellence in every area. I try to like outperform. But you know, people, even if you outperform, people are still gonna have like their stereotypes or perceptions of you. So basically, all I can do is be the best I can be. Go from there.
And that's truly, and that's how I feel like, you know, wherever we're in the classroom, in the boardroom, we're in the hospital, we're in the surgical room, we're at CIS doing cybersecurity. We just have to do our best, and we know that we can't afford to have a bad day. We can't go in there and, you know, like you know, me being a teacher, like, and tomorrow's first day of school, y'all, so pray for me, Lord. Summer's over. I'm like, man,
wow.
Like, if I have some personal issues going on, I can't go in there and put it off on the class, because they won't just attribute that to Nikisha Washington having a bad day. Oh, that black teacher over there, she, you know, like, so it's like we do carry our whole race on our shoulders, and so we have to represent. And so if we do go in there, just, you know, having a bad day, like everybody else have a bad day, not us, because as soon as we're not on, it's like, I knew it.
There you go.
I knew it. And it's like, I'm having one bad day. That's right. I knew it was coming. I knew it. That's right. Yes. So for the young ladies that are coming up behind us, or women that's already in the fields, what tips or advice would you give them on just their journey of picking a career and just dealing with these type of things in the workforce. Give us some tips and advice, and we'll start back with you again, Shelia.
I think, if you don't know what you want to do, I think just continue to try different things. I think that's when you really understand what you don't like, what you do like, like don't waste time and sticking with something if you don't like it, like why waste time at it? Move on to the next thing, So I think the best teacher in learning what's your passion is trying things. For me, I knew early on because I volunteered at the hospital, volunteer, work with someone, intern with somebody. You don't always have to get paid to do something because what's valuable is what you get in after that, So I think it's just meeting people, trying new things that interest you, and then whatever your heart is like telling you to cling on to, go for it.
All right, amen, sister. I feel you on that. Yeah, I agree. And I like that you said try new things because I think sometimes we get afraid and say kindergarten, I always wanted to be this and I'm going to do it. And then you get into those classes in college, you're like, I don't really like it. And some people are afraid to change. And you're like, and that's when I told my sons, I have grown sons, and I told them, I said, what career you pick is most likely the career you're going to have for the next 40-something years. You want to do something that you're going to enjoy.
Exactly.
Don't do it for a paycheck. You can chase the paycheck, but you're going to be miserable. So
right, and that can translate into other areas of your life.
Stress and you're not happy, but you might be making good money. But if you're not happy, and there's something as important as like nurse practitioner, something where you constantly in front of people and you hate it and you frowning and and like me,
that ain't gonna last too long.
Right. If I go in there and I don't like kids and I let them know, look, I'm just here to get this, but it's not gonna work. They're gonna run me out of there. I say, Grace, you still have, you can kind of behind a screen, but you still got to work with people. You got to be on a team. Right. So you can't, if you don't like it, and then you don't like your teammates, and then you're like, I don't like this company. You can't do it like that. So, like you say, try new things and don't be afraid. So I think that's awesome. So, Grace, what tips and advice would you give?
I would say do not be intimidated and stand your ground, and also like as well, because like especially being a girl in like STEM as well. Like I've been to like internships where I'd be like the only Black person on the team. Or like, people have the little cliques where they don't necessarily like include you. I don't always feel included necessarily.
Right.
And just like even starting out in like the field, like I didn't really see a lot of representation. Or I saw some, but it's like still not like Black people. It's like other races, which is like, I feel like they're trying to use that as diversity, but not like hire actual Black people. But yeah, diversity and inclusion. But it's still like, there's still like some stereotypes or like some people trying to look down on you. I would say don't be like intimidated, stand your ground. And you don't have to improve yourself like in the sense of like doing the job well and just being great. Like you don't have to let people look down on you or like intimidate you. Just do what you do. And if it doesn't work out, try something else.
Yeah.
Different areas, because I did an internship with software engineering last summer, and that was in tech. Even in tech, there are like different things you can try. Not everything necessarily coding. You could be like a IT product manager, and you don't have to necessarily code. So there's other fields that you can do that are in tech that does not involve coding, or you don't like coding, for example. So I knew that from my internship. I did not want to do software engineering as a full-time job, and I'm so thankful that I did that internship, because if not, who knew? I probably would have been doing coding and I would have hated it. But right now I'm doing coding. So
right.
Things too as well.
Yeah, and that's something I tell my sons. I was like, you going into something, but you don't know exactly which particular job you might like. Get an internship, but try different things.
Right.
Because you think you got your mind set on one, and then you try something, you're like, oh, I like that bet. And that's your time to discover now. Like,
exactly.
You don't want to get, like maybe in your 40s and then be like, I don't really like, yeah, you had all that time to try stuff. So I'm going to need you to go back and try. But it's never too late to change, but I'm going to need you to take advantage of it early on. So, All right, ladies, what are your future goals? So, Shelia, what are your future goals now? Now, you're this nurse practitioner on the surgery side. Where are you planning on going from here?
Well, I enjoy surgery. So for me, right now my service is very busy. I do a lot of like admission, pretty much I do everything outside of the OR. And so my future goals is working more closely with women, maybe gynecology, surgery avenue. But I really enjoy just talking to women, meeting women, knowing their stories, and of course within the healthcare system, being more intimate with them in that level, and educating them on a medical standpoint. So honestly, I see myself doing surgical gynecology, something in that field.
And I just want to say this, and I'll bring Grace back on the screen. But that is so needed because I just keep reading articles about how women during childbirth, after childbirth, the different things that they're dying, especially women of color, because people listen to them and no one advocate for them. So if they have like you in the surgical room or checking back up on them, they're like, something just don't feel right. You'll sit there and let me listen, let me hear what you're saying. More somebody's like, oh, that's okay. It's
it's needed. Women of color, we need advocates. We need that. The statistics for childbirth period. And you would think in the US it should be better, but the statistics are staggering. Honestly, I was reading an article about it. I'm like, wow, this is going on in 2019.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And it's like, and so a lot of it is they'll say, well, she said something and she said something,
but no one listened.
But no one will listen. And that is unacceptable. I can understand if you miss something, but if they're telling you something doesn't feel right, then doctors, nurses,
it's getting brushed off.
Listen, because people know their body. People know if they're feeling sick and different things. And as women, I have to say this too, because I'm guilty of this. Speak up. I know that they're the professionals, but you know your body. And sometimes I'd be like, well, I ain't going to say nothing because they know. No, speak up.
You got to tell us.
Yeah. I was like, that don't feel right, but I'll be okay then. I'll be stretched out somewhere because I'm So speak up. Speak up. Yeah. All right, Grace. So what is your future goals, Miss Cybersecurity, CIS? Tell me, what's your future goals?
So my future goals are to work in corporate America for like a few more years and then eventually start my own business.
Do that, entrepreneur. Yes. Yeah.
I don't want to do a 9-to-5 my entire life because I just started like 2 weeks ago. I'm just like, I'm not going to be doing this every day of my life. Like, it's fine, but like, I don't think I want to do this my entire life because I'm already working on starting because I have a podcast actually, and I'm working on like starting my own like business. I want to like merge like technology and like crafts. In a way, I'm still trying to figure out how to do that, but that's what I eventually want to do. And I don't think that I'm going to be working a 9-to-5 my entire life. So I'm definitely going to have to like start my own business or something. And it has to be successful because if I want that to be like a stream of income. So I'm just like, I better start developing ideas like right now so I can eventually do like full time later on down the line and still get money from it and not like suffer or like.
Right. And I know there's a big need of, how they have girls who can code or Black girls code. And you mentioned using the technology part with education, which is needed because, and some people they might be great coders, but then they go to a 4-year college and they don't really focus on what they're great at. And then they lose that passion. So I think there's an educational program to say, hey, you want to do just this? You want to just do cybersecurity? Take these courses, blah, 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 and become what you want. You don't need to take history. Why are you taking World War II history? I mean, like that stuff was taught in high school.
Right.
Like, that should be something where, they can find what their niche, especially if they already know what they kind of want to go into. So I think that's a great need, and I think you'll be very successful in that, Grace. And so, and like you say, 9-to-5 is not for everybody. Like, woo, Lord, yes. And now with the 9-to-5, a lot of people are doing remote. And so if you can work from home and work on your business too, that's always an option, and stuff. So, yes. So, guys, how has your family been a great influence? And that's one of the things that even if you didn't have family, was there a mentor, an advisor? How has your family influenced you to get to where you are now? And how they keep encouraging you? And then did you have a mentor, an advisor, and how did you seek them out? Okay. All right, Sheila, we'll start back with you.
So I feel like my family has always been a support, in undergraduate school, when I was getting my BSN, my mom was a direct support system for me. I mean, financially, helping me out.
Yeah.
My sister as well. Me and my sister are 1 year apart, and she's in the nursing field as well. So with the classes that she would already take, you know, I would be coming behind her taking it, and it's just like, oh, help me out, girl. Like, you know, so just having that support, because nursing, if anybody could tell you, nursing school is tough.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
And then the second time around when I got my master's, my husband, he was a great support, you know, even just helping me. You don't realize, like, meal prepping, you know.
Yeah.
I don't have time to meal prep. Like, he's helping me meal prepping, like, oh, what do you need for this? You know, because I happened to be pregnant during the second time around too. So like, my husband, if it wasn't for him, I don't even know how I would have made it through grad school. So
yes.
Yeah, like, he was definitely great. Yeah. So honestly, like, throughout the whole time, I can say my family, my sister, my mom, my husband, they were all just great support for me.
Okay. Now, when you were in school, per se, did you have like a mentor, an advisor?
I feel like I had older women I could turn to.
Okay.
Like, even within the nursing program, there was one of the professors, actually, she was actually African American woman, and I felt like if anything was going on, I could turn to her. You know, I did have her support as well, so that was helpful.
All right, awesome. All right, Grace, who's been your influence and support system?
I would say my family, and also like just like different people, like different mentors I have, like through like church or, you know, organizations. Because I had a mentor, she was a Black woman when I was president of an organization for like a brief time. And I used to talk with her, and she actually helped me when I got into a situation, like get advice, and also like helped me get out of the situation. And also, I would say my family to some extent, because I mean, they didn't really influence me, I would say, to like pick my major. That's kind of on my own. Like, I could decide whatever I wanted, because no one in my family was really, in my intermediate family that I knew, my immediate family, my mom or dad was like really into tech. They were like into different stuff. So that my major was something that I kind of chose on my own, because it was something I was interested in. It's not really something that I was like forced to do or something like that. But I would say that I guess they kind of like prayed for me and like pushed me into like my destiny, or like what I was supposed to be doing. So I would say that my family and like mentors I have from like organizations or like other places as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And just to talk about that too, just having an African American woman, it's always nice to have someone that looks like you, you know, and who you share that with, because in my nursing program I had all Caucasian teachers. They were great. However, I came into a situation to where, you know, I was pretty much in a very far out country hospital, you know, and they pretty much lied on me. You know, I was the only Black face that they've seen, and I don't know how long. And I had that lady support me through that whole, from them trying to keep me back that semester. She was right there by my side. And so I would never forget her, just for being that face that I recognize, you know, and helping me through that time.
I agree. And like I said, I just started a new school, and they have like a mentoring program for incoming freshmen. And so I had to fill out a form. I want to take one. And I said, yeah, but I was like, they was like, well, any notes? And I said, I need someone who looks like me. Because the school is not heavily populated for African Americans anyway. Like I said, there's not a lot of African American teachers there. So I feel it's my job and duty. Like, how am I doing a whole business about this? And then I'm at the school and I'm working, and it don't take a mentor. And then I told him I needed a young lady that, you know, African American girl.
Right.
Because she see me, she'll feel comfortable when she comes to me.
Exactly.
We can talk about Cardi B, and we can talk about, did you have a hot girl summer? But then we can also talk about
real stuff. You're relatable. They can feel open to you.
Yeah.
It's necessary.
Yeah. So I think it's very necessary. So I agree. I think it's awesome. Ladies, we're coming to the end. It's been awesome. We have one last question, and this is about your way of giving back. Whether do you plan to have like a not-for-profit, or you, like you said, starting your own business? How do you plan on giving back, or just even being a mentor to someone that's coming up behind you in your program or in your department? how you plan on giving back? And it doesn't have to be right now, just in the future.
Mm-hmm.
You have plans on how you want to give back. So
for me right now, the nurse practitioner program is an influx of nursing. And so the problem has been finding preceptors. Some people are sitting out a whole semester because they can't find a preceptor because of the competition in the market right now. So for me, I precept nursing students right now, and I enjoy it. Follow me, shadow me, whatever you want. I'm there. I've had nursing students with me so far. There's a nonprofit organization as well called SCORE. My ophthalmologist actually put me onto that. They haven't started following me, but I'm in their mentorship database. So, taking young girls in that avenue as well for me. So honestly, my way is just like pretty much being the face and knowing that we are out here, you are capable, get your master's, get your BSN, whatever you want to do, like just do something, and so just, shadowing me to see what it's all about. I'm always there. So
awesome. We have Atiba Nelson. She says, hi, Queen. Blessing. She started like 2-3 Sundays, and I just thank her for logging in and saying hi to us. We love to have some interaction. Yeah. All right, Grace, it's your turn. How do you plan on giving back?
I would say I plan on giving back kind of like what I've been doing right now through volunteering, and also probably through like being a mentor to somebody else, because I knew that I went through like some crazy stuff from young, even being in school and like even being in my field. So like I could help people, especially like Black women in my field, in STEM in general, to like overcome that and come to me for help if they need help or advice. Because I know that I dealt with some stuff that if I didn't have like a mentor or like a family to go to, that like things were just went crazy or went crazier. So I feel like mentoring and like volunteering and giving back to the community is like a very important aspect. That's why I'm so passionate about volunteering. And I also have my podcast as well as kind of the way I give back. So I share advice on the podcast, like scholarships, internships, like just different resources. And I need to like get more active on that, but that's like a way I plan to give back to people as well, through using the podcast to share like information to people.
That's awesome. That's awesome, ladies. Great. So excited to have you guys here. Nelson said, hope you queens keep up the good work. And I agree. Yes,
thank you.
I just want you to know you're not alone. We're watching. Now you have a whole support system behind you, all our followers. And if we just love them, we definitely want to do a where are they now after this, like a couple of months from now, just or maybe in a year, but we want to stay in touch with you ladies, because that's what it's about. It's about building a community. And then if I know a little girl that wants to go into cybersecurity, I can say, hey, I have Grace. Go talk to Grace. And then I know somebody went nurse practitioner. Here's Shelia, So that's what this is about. There's a Tina. She says, great interview. I'm a woman in STEM. I'm inspired through this interview to be more intentional about mentoring young women of color. Also, great, Tina. And Tina, hey, get in touch with us at info@knowledgeandA.com. I'll put my email, and we will love to interview you on here as well. Any woman of color that we have not interviewed, I'm going to put my email on here and just email us, because we want to keep this going. We want to have, and we want different parts of STEM, different, if you're dentist, if you're ophthalmologist, we have one person that was a weed scientist. She studied weed. Wow. And I was like, wow, is that, and I was like, yes. And then she started her own cannabis company. So it's like, to have these connections. So I just think it's awesome. And I'm just glad that everyone was able to come out. Did you guys want to say anything before we leave off? Thank anyone that you haven't thanked already. But also, people, hold on, Sheila will be ready. But following us, I have included their link to their article. So please check their article out, because you have their emails in there and their IG and their information in the articles. So that's the one way you can follow them as well. But go ahead, Sheila. Sheila's ready.
I was just going to say thank you guys for watching. Honestly, I thoroughly enjoy doing stuff like this. I love being able to share my career with others and maybe inspiring somebody to jump into nursing. It's honestly an awesome profession. So I'm just thankful for the opportunity to share.
All right. All right. Yes. And then Grace, how about yourself? Any last thoughts or last words?
Yes, I would like to thank you for inviting me on the show and being patient with me. And I really love being on this show and getting interviewed is really, I feel like it's really beneficial to the general public. So thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. Well, thank you guys. And also, I'm going to take a little solo again. Hey, don't forget who is Nyla Nova's out there, nyladene.com. Like I said, you may know someone, you know, you've seen a little girl somewhere and you want to encourage them. Inside of the children's book, it has wonderful pictures really quickly about how she turns into Nyla Nova with her magnifying glass, and then how eventually her hair turns into afro and she has this crown. So you want little girls to see themselves. We're talking about exposure and representation, but we have to make sure that we're giving them the tools. We can't just talk about it. So please support NylaDene.com, purchasing the book, Who is Nyla Nova, even if it's not for your own children. You know some little girls. So please help us out, get the word out. I just like to thank everyone who tune in every Sunday. Sensational Spotlight. We have a special treat next week. We're gonna go a little early because we're gonna be on at 4:30 instead of 6. But please tune in. We'll have a new StemStation on Wednesday. But if you have not read about Shelia and Grace, click the links in the comments so you can read their article. We want to thank everyone. We also want to say have a StemSational week.
Yes.
Sensational. And so just enjoy your week, ladies and gents that are watching. And just thank you guys for following us. We had an awesome time. We're going to sign out, but just have a great rest of your Sunday and a sensational week. Bye-bye.
Yay, bye. Thank you so much.
You guys stay on in the broadcast, but you stay on. Okay. Thank you guys. See you next Sunday.